Doing numbers like equations. Trench talk. When you jump up off the porch as a youngin' and start posting on the block with the junkies and get it bounced.
What it is, what it do to all my great and amazing people out there, man. Y'all back tuning to your boy, Billionaire Charlie's Vision YouTube channel. And I'm about to tell y'all, I'm about to take y'all down my life story, man. Growing up in foster care, man. We about to talk about it, G. See, the man you see before you, man, as a young buck, your boy was crazy, man. I know some people say that boy still crazy, man. But let me tell y'all some stories, man. Growing up in foster care, man. Everybody know my background, Norfolk, Virginia, Tyler Park gang, you feel me? But man, when I got into foster care, I was a terror. I tell you, just imagine, man, I grew up on Bernie Mac, Beanie Siegel, Gucci Man, 50 Cent. So you put that in a pot of gumbo, you creating a soldier. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on the game and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Before Whack 100, I grew up on the game, G. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, man, let's dive into my story, man. So listen, man. I ended up going to foster care as a young kid, around about 13, 14 years old or whatever, right? And my first home, I was in Coleman Place, you know what I'm saying, back in the days, man. It started there. And this is when the craziness all began. And I get in this house with guy, and I was in the house with this dude that was training to be a boxer or whatever, you know what I'm saying, rapper, boxer type of thing. He trying to do the Roy Jones thing. But the guy was a bully. You know what I'm saying? He tried to bully me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm cut from a certain cloth where you fuck around too much, I'm gonna have to get your ass. So the story go like, in the beginning, he used to be punching on me and shit like that. I ain't really do nothing bad, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really think in my mind I could beat this guy, right? He going to boxing and training and shit like that. I'm thinking like, I can't beat this guy, you know what I'm saying? So one incident happened, right? We chilling, I'm in the crib, I'm sick one day. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the Dallas Mavericks game or whatever. And bro coming there and he bucking. With a controller, he trying to turn the TV. And I'm still watching the game. So, bro, bucking on me. So he climbs up this ladder. We had a bunk beds in the room. Climb up the ladder. And this nigga sack is sitting on my leg and he yoking me up. And he take the controller. And I'm like, this shit feel real disrespectful. So I said, fuck it. Even though in my mind I thought maybe I couldn't beat him, but I said, fuck this shit. I'm about to just go out like a soldier. So I got out of pocket. I said, nigga, you do that shit one more time, I'm gonna fuck you up in here. So he looked back at me. He said, what? I said, you come up here one more time, I'm gonna get you. So I said, man, in my mind I'm thinking like, I'm gonna put so much power behind this punch, I'm gonna try to cave his fucking face in. So, bro, he comes up the ladder, and I still off on him. Boom! A hell of a joint. No, nigga nose bleeding and shit. I hop off the motherfucking bunk bed, and I just went to his ass in that motherfucker. I ain't give him a chance to punch. I was whooping out, man. Once that nose got cracked, I fucked his ass up in there, man. So, after that, he left the house or whatever. I come to school the next day. One of the guys from Tyler Park, I didn't really know him that well. He come to me and say, man, I heard you out here telling people that you were in Tyler Park, this and that. Had no idea what the fuck he was talking about. But I know he was a serious guy. A lot of people fuck with him and shit like that. So I ain't say too much. I was just like, yeah, cool. I was like, I ain't never say no shit like that. But he didn't know me to know that I would have never said no shit like that. So, but I guess the guy that I was fighting was putting words in his ear trying to turn people against me or whatever. So my ass, after he said that to me, I'm like, all right, cool. So I go home that day, and my sister gone. So now I'm mad as shit. I'm hurting. This is my first foster care home and shit like that. So I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, my sister gone? Like, what the fuck? This nigga threatened my sister, this and that. So I go back the next day in school, tell a couple of people from Tyler Park, Carroll Park, people I really fuck with, my day ones. Next thing you know, we like damn near 20 niggas deep. Young's Park, Carrot Park, Tower Park. We all waiting for this nigga to come out. He look out the door and don't never come out that bitch. I was Booker T. So the next day, I go to school. The motherfucking security team come in that motherfucker, grab me out my class, and they like, he went there and snitched on me and shit like that, saying I'm threatening him and got people to try to come get them and shit like that. So they goddamn had me in there in the security room, and they showing footage of me skipping school, putting rocks in the middle of the door. So when I go out the back door and shit, they go sneak out and come back. Or when I smoke my cigarette, they had footage of me who I sat at the lunch table with. They had footage of me sneaking out. Like, do you know this and that person? Then they'll ask me about a person. Then they'll show video of me at the table in the hallway. They had footage of all this shit, and they showing it back to me. And I was just like, I don't know none of these people, man. What the fuck y'all? That was basically like, what the fuck these niggas talking about, man? So that spilled out, and then eventually they moved me into another home, and this is when I go to Deep Creek, and I'm in Chesapeake, and this is when your boy get crazy, man. So I went to Rough in the Middle School, and got down. One of my teachers was Miss Scales. It was a night, I call her my angel, you know what I mean? But she was covering over me, but she had no idea of all the drama and chaos that she was gonna get by taking me under her wing and and being my provider and things of that nature, and finding me homes and shit like that. I get out there. Once again, I'm in a room with this diesel ass football player ass nigga. One nigga, the first house was some boxing nigga, the other nigga some wrestling football player nigga. And back then I was a weird ass motherfucker, man. I ain't like sleeping in the dark. I ain't want to sleep in the dark with niggas I don't know type shit. I was one of them type niggas. I just ain't feel comfortable. So the nigga had the light on and shit. I mean, he was turning the light off. I said, nah, keep that shit on, bro. I'm going to sleep with the light on, G. I don't trust you, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm on some weirdo shit. So goddamn, the nigga get the bucking on me one time. I said, yeah, that's how you feel, nigga? So my ass go in the kitchen, go grab one of them motherfucking big ass butcher knives, nigga. I said, what you saying now, nigga? Nigga get scared to death. So they moved me to the garage and shit. So like I said, that one incident caused me to be getting moved again. You know what I'm saying? But it took a little time for them to find me another location, but they found me another location. So I ended up going to Deep Creek a little bit, going to school there and things of that nature. And that one incident. So now they writing in reports that you cannot have knives around Charlie. They write in your report that you can't have knives around Charlie. So I ended up going to what? I ended up going to like Mills Creek, another Chesapeake area. And once again, and the reports. And like I told you, Miss Scales was trying to find me a home that would match me. But I kept doing all this fighting and doing all this crazy shit. So I get with this other family. They was happy to have me. They couldn't have no more kids. They had all daughters. They was looking for a son to get me. Crazy ass Charlie from Tyler Park, nigga. So that's they know, man. I'm in that joint. We going on vacation to Orlando, Disney World, Universal Studios and shit like that. So she had a couple of family members that was like their early 20s and shit like that. Of course, I'm like 13, 14, and I'm real quiet, laid back out the way. And back then, I'm scared of heights. I don't really like roller coaster rides and shit. So I'm like, man, I ain't about to fuck with this shit. I'm about to go do some other shit. So my ass go play video games, shooting up shit, shooting basketballs and shit like that. And the day go past and they looking for me. So they end up spending more time looking for me than having fun. So when I get back on the little Greyhound bus and shit, everybody mad at me. And I'm like, damn, I apologize. They wanted me to apologize. But like I told you, I come from Tyler Park. We don't apologize for shit. As I was growing up, that's how you was taught to never apologize for shit. And then you never back down from shit. You gonna fight it out. Even if it's 20 niggas out there, bitch, you just gotta fight it out. That's how I was taught as a little nigga. So I'm like, I ain't apologizing to nobody, man. Fuck y'all niggas. That's how I was thinking in my mind. Childish as hell, little petty ass little young nigga. So anyway, I get in the crib. We got like 4 or 5 houses they rented out with swimming pools and hot tubs and shit like that. So I guess her little peoples came in there. He around 20-some years old. I guess he called himself trying to bully me or some shit. So he ended up getting one of my CDs, which I had at that time was the Memphis Bleak joint. They had the Dear Summer on it. And I think the second Diplomat's album came out, and I had both of them joints. So he broke one of my CDs. He broke the Memphis Bleak joint first. I'm mad as shit. And he trying to, the whole time he bullying me. Before he break the CDs, he bullying me, yoking me up. I ain't doing shit. He doing all type of crazy shit to me. Then he broke my motherfucking Memphis Bleak CD. I'm mad. Now I'm real mad. Like I said, this nigga punching on me, yoking me up, all type of shit. So the nigga took the Diplomat CD. And niggas know I was a big time motherfucking Dipset fan, Jewels, Hell, Rail, 40 Cal, nigga, J.R. Ryder, Cam, Jimmy. I was a big fan. I was mad as shit. So my crazy ass, man, they was told to hide all knives from Charlie. So I go in the kitchen, right, and there's no knives to be found. So I'm like, I'm gonna carve this nigga ass. So he think he fucking with the wrong nigga. Oh, he fucking with the wrong nigga. So I go in the kitchen, ain't no knives in that bitch. So I'm like, fuck, what I'm gonna get this nigga with, man? This nigga way bigger than me and all type of shit. I'm a little 13, 14-year-old kid. I said, you know what, I'm gonna fuck this nigga up. So I go in the kitchen, and I'm so fucking mad that I grab a whole handful of forks. So I go in that bitch. He like, what you got them forks for? He trying to bully me on some Debo shit. So I swing the forks and almost stuck in his eye, but it go underneath his eye. Boom. And blood like squirting down this nigga shit that the whole fucking family jumped on my ass, bro. Pulling me off. They called the police and all this shit. And that was kind of like my end to the road in that situation once I stabbed them in the face with the fork. And then they wanted me to apologize for going off at Orlando Universal Studios or some shit like that, walking off on my own and shit. They wanted me to apologize for that. And they wanted me to apologize for stabbing a nigga in the face. And I wasn't apologize for none of that shit. So they end up saying they got to move me to another home. So now Miss Scales seeing all of this shit. She like, God damn. Every time she look on her reports, it's Charlie. Charlie stabbed the nigga. Charlie punched the nigga. Charlie did this. Charlie did that. I got all these reports that's adding up on my ass. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even get a chance to go to school in that home. Because it was summertime or whatever. And I had just left Deep Creek from about to stab the nigga over there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting in all this trouble. I'm having all these fights and shit like that. So now they sent me from, I was like Deep Creek, I think it's called Mills Creek. Then I go to Portsmouth. OMG, cuz. When I go to Portsmouth, nigga, it get real. It get real, my nigga. When I go to Portsmouth, that shit get real. So I'm gonna give y'all some of the stories that happened there. So one of the stories that happened, this is all the trouble. I'm getting in all this trouble. I liked this girl, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say her name, but I liked this girl. I liked these two girls, a Spanish girl and this white girl or whatever. And they calling me Scrat. They calling me all type of fucked up names. I'm liking the girl. She dissing me, calling me all types of names and shit. So I get mad. And I try to hit her with a dodgeball, but she's so small and quick that she dodging all of that shit. So I'm like, what? So I get real mad because I can't hit her with the ball. So I walk up to her and I smack the shit out of the white girl. I mean, I smacked the fuck out of her. And that's thing, you know, they call the police on me. The police come out there, come to the crib, and they're like, who did it? Because I'm so quiet when everybody come in, the police come in, that they didn't even know who to fucking arrest. So they arrest me, put me in the back of the car. They have a conversation with me like, bro, you can't do this and that. Two white cops, you can't do this and that. They wasn't going crazy with me or none of that. They was like, okay, you slapped the bitch. Like, they was talking like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't give a fuck about that shit. So I ended up getting with an assault and battery charge for that situation. So I was going to Woodrow Wilson High School. So her brother comes in that motherfucker. He in my math class. He talking crazy. You hit my sister. You did this and that. He calling me all types of names and shit. So I said, back in the days, they had these T83 calculators. I forget what you call them. Big ass black calculators we used to have in math and science class. So I said, oh, this little nigga want to talk shit. So I picked the calculator up and I bust him on top of his head with the calculator. His shit spilling blood and shit out of it. Everybody in the classroom like, the whole classroom get quiet. Like, this nigga crazy, bro. Bust that nigga head wide open with the calculator. So they call the police on me. They arrest me in the classroom and they walking me out Woodrow Wilson. They take me downtown. Now I got 2 assault and battery charges on the sister and the fucking brother. So this is all the trouble. I'm getting all this trouble. So I got to go to court and all of this shit. And basically, I'm going to tell you what happened with the court situation. So now, when I go to the courtroom, basically, the whole neighborhood, we was the only black family in that neighborhood. The whole neighborhood came, and they didn't even see what happened. The whole neighborhood came and testified against me. I pled guilty. I was on papers and shit like that, and had to go to anger management and all that. So this all going back to Miss Scales. I'm getting in all this trouble. So the next incident that happened, which never got told to the foster parent, I had this girl one day. I'm in the room playing a video game, shit like that. And she come in there, I had a bunch of condoms and shit. I'm like 14, 15, some shit like that. I got a bunch of condoms, and she talking about everybody trying to get a turn on the jizang. You know what I'm saying? So like she coming there, I'm playing the game, and she pushed me down on the bed. She get on top of me, and she trying to get me to give her the condom so she could do shit with other niggas. And she like, I got you next or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool, hell yeah, I'm about to get some pussy, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking this shit. So I'm like, all right, cool shit. So there's a bunch of pretty boys. You know, I'm a roughneck, gorilla ass nigga. I ain't no pretty boy, no shit like that. So she ended up fucking all the pretty boys. And then when it came to my turn, she was like, you ain't about to do shit. So she basically tried to play me. She was clowning me, joking me and shit like that. But y'all know how crazy Charlie is, bro. So the young lady did that. I get furious because she keep fucking with me, playing with me like I'm some type of joke. So I pick the young girl up and I throw her into the mirror in the hallway. And the whole house get quiet again. Every time I do shit, everybody get quiet. Like, this nigga crazy. I threw her into the mirror, her skin and everything cut up and shit like that. And the mirror in the hallway broke. And everybody like, this nigga fucking psychopath. And I remember nobody told the foster mother that I did that shit. So that she thinking probably she just ran into the mirror playing and shit. The whole time I picked the little girl up. We about the same age. I threw her into the fucking mirror because she didn't want to give me my term and shit. I feel like your word was bond. I just was a psychopath back in them days when I was a kid, man. And I did that shit, and niggas was so scared that they end up putting together a situation where got her kicked out of the house, right? Because niggas was so scared of me at that point. And there was that incident. It was just like so many incidents was happening. And it started to get back to Miss Scales, who was my worker, who was also my school teacher, who was trying to get me on the right path. But I had so much anger in my mind, body, and soul. And then every time they would try to put me into therapy, they always had white therapists. I never would talk to them. We'll get into that in a minute. I would never talk to them. I would never have conversations with them. You know what I'm saying? So that incident happened. And then, like I said before, when I started going to the therapy, and I ended up getting a black therapist, or person that came from Norfolk, that was from the environment, that knew how to talk to me. And me and her was like real cool. She was like a grandma to me or some shit like that. And when she got to talking to me, I told her about this story of how, because I had gotten into another issue that ended up going to the foster parents and back to the people. So I would get my money, and back then DVDs were starting to blow up, but back then the tapes was on sale for like $1.50. So we would buy pizza and Chinese food, and we would all eat together. But I would buy all this shit with my money or whatever when I got my little allowance and shit. So when I would do that, the same treatment wouldn't come back. When they got their money, they wouldn't give me shit. We wasn't getting no movie. It was all for them. You know what I'm saying? They would be selfish like that. So I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna have to smack these niggas up. So like one of them days I ain't had no money, so we used to go out, sneak out of the house at nighttime. But man, I was a lookout because I never was a stealing type of person. So he would steal all the shit and he'll break bread. This particular day, bro ended up stealing hella shit. You know what I'm saying? And we go back to the crib, and he supposed to break bread with me. He's like, I ain't breaking bread with you. And he wouldn't even give me none of this stuff that he had or whatever, right? And I'm watching out, looking out, making sure he good. He wouldn't give me nothing. So of course, crazy ass Charlie. So I said, all right, bro. It's like that. So I snapped on the nigga. I took all the shit that he stole, took it in my room. And I said, nigga, you ain't gonna eat nothing then, nigga. So once again, my behavior, bro, like feeling like, so I'm talking to the therapist, and one of the things the therapist told me, she was like, just because you give somebody something don't mean they got to give it back to you. And is it coming from a pure place where you giving it to them? Because a lot of times in life, you got to understand people ain't going to show you the same love you show them. And it's one of the things she was trying to work on me with, but I was like, fuck that shit. If I break bread with you, you better break bread with me, nigga. That's how I felt at that time. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the incidents that happened. All this shit starting to get reported back to Miss Skills. She's starting to see a pattern in me of terrorizing every home that I was in. So once again, I'm still in Portsmouth, and this when shit get real crazy. My foster mama had a sister, multiple sisters, but one of these sisters was moving to another house in Portsmouth or whatever. She asked some of the young guys, can they help move her stuff? And I was like, shit, is she paying us? Hell yeah. You know, me, I'm all down for $1. I'm a tourist man, you know what I'm saying? So I said, hell yeah, I'm down for that shit. So some of her jewelry or some shit gets stolen. So them niggas try to blame me for stealing her jewelry, which y'all know I don't steal. I'll kill a nigga, but I don't be stealing shit. So they blame it all on me, and they end up finding out that the boys that was in her house stole the jewelry and sold the jewelry. They found out who it was sold to, all that shit. So they come back and they having a family reunion and shit. And we in this neighborhood, a house, and this big ass, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, where the fuck I was at in Portsmouth? But this shit was, nigga, this shit got real. So the niggas that was accusing me ended up got found guilty of taking the jewelry and selling it for money and all of that. And they was looking at me as like, why everybody protecting Charlie and shit? Like, man, fuck that nigga type shit. So these niggas had a bunch of blood niggas around and shit like that. And I'm at the family reunion. Of course, everybody know my personality. I'm dumb, quiet, I'm chilling back. They playing the music, frying fish and chicken. They got it all going together. Everybody dancing, having a good time. So the more females that came, the more greasy these niggas became. Like, these niggas like, yeah, that's the nigga right there. They talking shit. And I'm from Tyler Park. So my whole thing is this. Like I said, it wasn't no, back then, when I used to go to middle school, you had like Big West, you had your aunts, you had all the people that I grew up with, that something was going on, they wanted to allow niggas to bank you. I ain't had nobody out there. There wasn't no Reggie, wasn't no aunt, wasn't no Drea, nobody. It wasn't nobody gonna save my ass when I was in Portsmouth. Wasn't nobody there. You know what I'm saying? I was all by my fucking self. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't no bald head about to come save you, want none of that shit. Like back in the day when I was a kid, them niggas would come in and if I had a beef with Yon's Park or Carrot Park, them niggas will neutralize the situation. I'm in Portsmouth. Ain't nobody gonna come save you. So when that shit happened, they talking crazy at the motherfucking at the family reunion, and then we at this motherfucking it's like a house, this big ass park. I don't know where the fuck I'm at, G. But there's so many blood niggas out here. It was about, I say at the time that they was coming at me, it was probably between 5 or 6 of them niggas. Damn, they get to get real greasy with me, bumping me, doing all this weird ass shit, talking crazy. So I'm from Tyler Park, nigga. I don't know how you can. We like 300, nigga. We don't retreat or none of that shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like either you a gangster or you ain't. So these niggas doing this shit, I'm all by myself. I said I don't give a fuck. Like I said, on the paperwork, it was told to never have knives around Charlie. If you got a kitchen, hide all your knives and shit. So, of course, I get mad, furious. I know I can't beat all these niggas. So I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm about to go out with a bang. So I go in the kitchen. They cooking and frying up shit. Niggas like, what the fuck is he looking for? The women in the kitchen cooking up shit, making up shit. They're like, what the fuck you looking for, Charlie? What you doing? So I go, I can't find no knives in this bitch. They had all the knives and shit. So I found a meat cleaver. So I find this shit, I grab it, and I'm walking out how everybody looking, and then I see one of the blood niggas, and I'm trying to slice this nigga ass in half. So I swing the meat cleaver. Homie grabbed his brother back before the shit cut him in half, and everybody, the music stopped, niggas stopped dancing, everybody looking at me like this little nigga crazy. So they grabbed me up, everybody grabbed me up, they put me in the house. Now, like I said, it's like about 6 blood niggas out here at this time. That's they know. I'm talking about these niggas filled that motherfucking house up, G. So my foster mama, her son was one of them maid niggas in Portsmouth. And then her sister her son was one of them maid niggas in Portsmouth. So they called him. This nigga had to come there immediately because them niggas going to kill my ass. Them Portsmouth niggas going to smoke my ass out that bitch. And so they locked the house. They kept me in the house. They had all these people around trying to keep the blood niggas calm. Cause these niggas going to shoot the crib up. Them niggas going to do me dirty out there, bitch. And like I said, I ain't had nobody say. I ain't had no aunt. I ain't had no bald head. None of the niggas I grew up with was out Portsmouth, nigga. It was just me by my motherfucking self. I had to figure out like these. So basically what they do, they try to get these niggas off the property. They get a couple of niggas off the property. Niggas talking about shooting up my foster mama and shit like that. And when they was doing that, talking about shooting up my foster mama house and all that, this is when her son come in and like, nah, niggas ain't about to do that. Of course, once again, they had 2 maid niggas in their family, which was my foster mother's son and then her sister's son. Both of them maid niggas. I can't say their names and shit like that, but they made niggas in Portsmouth. Ain't nobody gonna do no crazy shit to none of their family members and shit like that. It would have been a problem. So he already telling these the young blood niggas to go ahead with that shit. So her son literally had to pull up because shit was gonna get crazy. I mean, they called that nigga. He had to come immediately because the group was getting so fucking big that it won't nobody gonna be able to save me at that point unless they call the police. You know, black people, we ain't calling no police. No niggas would have just tossed me the fuck up out that bitch. But they was able to get them niggas off the property because her son and them came and niggas was like calming down and getting them off the property because they respected their son and them so much that they came off the property and shit like that. And they was able to get me in the car, back to my foster mother's house. And basically, Miss Skills is saying all this shit. She hearing all the reports and shit of me getting into about to slash a nigga up with a meat cleaver, throwing niggas in mirrors, beating up niggas, extorting niggas. She like, no, Charlie. So once again, she said, I had a job in Norfolk. Alex made soul food restaurant. I was a dishwasher as a young kid. And she was like, Charlie, she come to me serious as hell. She's like, you can't go to Norfolk no more. You can't work your job no more. I literally couldn't go outside the house at this point in time because these niggas were gonna kill me. Like, oh God, these little niggas was gonna smoke the shit out my ass. So she like, you can't go to school. You can't go to Norfolk. So I'm like, I'm getting emotional. I'm like, I gotta go to Tyler Park, nigga. I gotta get out of here. They kept me in the house because these little niggas gonna smoke my ass, right? So Miss Scales trying to calm down the situation because I created so much beef. You gotta think I'm all by myself out this bitch. I done got salt and battery charges. I done got beef with blood niggas and shit that trying to smoke my ass. I got all this beef with all these different individuals. I'm all by my fucking self. But prior to her coming there, the nigga, I don't want to say nobody's name, but the my foster mother's sister's son comes to the house, right? And he wanted to meet me because he like, everybody keep talking about this nigga. Who the fuck is this young boy? So he come in that bitch, he fronted up, you know, goals and all that shit. This nigga getting money. He come in that bitch, he laughing. He laughing and shit. He like, who is this? He try to figure out who I am and shit like that. And he just laughing and shit. He said, where you from? I like Tyler Park or shit. So he look at that like Tyler Park. He thinking I'm from Portsmouth or some shit because I'm so goddamn ready to go type shit. He like, this nigga from Norfolk, Tyler Park? And he knew some of the guys from Tyler Park, and he had never really seen like this type of like nigga was on go type shit. He like, nigga, you about to beef with all he laughing because I guess he felt like I didn't realize what the fuck I just did. And I didn't, because I'm not from fucking Portsmouth, so I didn't know what the fuck I just did. Like, it was real serious. Like, niggas was gonna really do something crazy to me out there. You know what I'm saying? So it was like when the next day after he had a little conversation with me and shit, and then my caseworker came in, which was my teacher, Miss Scale. She was like, you can't go to Norfolk no more. You can't. And then, like I said, I was working at a job and shit, and the nigga get to talking crazy about me when she going there. She was like, I'm picking up Charlie last check. He can't come back in here. And then the dude that was in there was talking crazy about me. So I say, when Miss Scales come in, she tell me about this shit. And I say, the nigga said, what? I said, I'm gonna fuck this nigga. I'm going, cause I'm retarded, bro. I'm gonna fuck this nigga up when I see him. So she like, you ain't going to Norfolk no more. You can't go to that job no more. You can't go to school, nigga. So yeah, man, like shit got real crazy out of Portsmouth, man. So now, you know, I'm in a predicament where they gotta try to find me another home. So now they like, this being on the other side of the water and shit ain't really working good for me, because as a young nigga, I was on page to being smoked. That's just how it was, man. Because my mentality from my environment growing up in Tyler Park, you don't retreat, you don't do none of that shit, you don't surrender, none of that shit. You just bang it out, no matter who the fuck there. And that's how I was taught. So at that period of time, as I'm going to therapy and they trying to heal my mind and shit like that, they working on just making me a better person, of learning how to think before reacting. And like I say, I created all this beef and shit like that, right? So end up going down the line, I end up going back to Norfolk. I'm living out Norview at this time and shit, right? And now I'm going to Lake Teller. Now when I go to Lake Teller, man, I feel so at home. I'm just like, I'm so happy to be back in Norfolk. It's crazy, nigga. Like, I'm talking about all the people that I grew up with from Tyler Park and all of that. People that I had relationships from Ruffin, Booker T. Some of the people went to Lake Teller. Were going to Booker T, started going to Lake Teller. People from Ruffin was in Lake Teller. So I'm like my cousin. I'm like Big L, Travis, everybody here. I'm like, this feel like family. In Portsmouth, I was all by myself. So when I go to Norfolk and I'm in Lake Teller, it's just like, it felt so good to be back home. I'm just riding on the school bus and I'm just like, I feel good. Cause I was on the page of getting my ass smoked, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so reckless, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the moral to this shit is like, in life, sometimes we we go through these stages of just becoming grown and understanding how to handle situations. But like I said before, my skills made for sure. Seems like a nigga ain't going nowhere. Like, Charlie, you can't go nowhere, dog. Like, for real. Like, it was on like that, man. Them niggas was serious, man. Them niggas was hella serious. That shit was about to get crazy for a nigga. You know what I'm saying? By the grace of God, I was able to get out of Portsmouth without a scratch on me and shit. But like I said, I couldn't go to school no more. I couldn't go to the corner store no more. I couldn't play in the neighborhood no more. I couldn't do none of that shit because I didn't know how to control my anger. And my anger was the reason I ended up in all these situations. Because a lot of times, like even with the incident where the nigga was talking crazy, bumping me and all, I could have just went to the crib and just sat down and left it alone. But I was one of them niggas that say, shit, if a nigga want to play with me, I'm going to play back with a nigga. You know what I'm saying? I grew up under that type of training. Like, we don't back down from shit. And it's, like I said, them niggas came deep, bro. I promise you. If her son wasn't fucking there, I ain't gonna say his name and shit, and the other son wasn't there with the two sister sons wasn't there, that shit would have got real, nigga. After I swung that shit and almost cut brother up like that, man. The heat that I got on my ass, boy, it would have been fucked up for a nigga. For real, G. Real shit. Like, but like I said before, man, I was always told to go out like a gangster for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, some of the shit we was taught was wrong, but that's all I knew. That's all the fuck I knew, bro. That's all I knew was just to bang it out. And that's all I knew how to do. Like, all I did my whole life was fight, nigga. Like, so I come from the hood where we was taught like gladiators, man. We was always fighting each other, learning how to fight and do all this shit, never back down shit. Like, it's all we've been taught our whole fucking life. So how I'm gonna go to another city or place and be a bitch? I say, fuck that shit. I'm just gonna go out with a bang. But my ass gonna get killed. I tell you that shit. I ain't gonna even cap about that shit. I never knew it would have been like a Newport News. That probably would have been 10 times worse. But I survived that Portsmouth shit a little bit. By the grace of God, nigga. The good thing they had 2 made niggas in their family. Because other than that, that shit would have went way bad for a nigga. But I'm out, G. That's my story.
A will to win a healthy life. All natural products. Come join the new movement, guys. We got products in different categories such as sports, weight loss, beauty, and also household products. That's all made all natural. Click the link in the description.
Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also hit that like button. And when you hit that notification bell, it will always let you know every time that I upload new content.